Well, today on The Grand Angle, we'll talk about Africa's role in driving innovation in the world of science and technology. And with us in the studio now is Rudy Lenda Massamba, founder of the website of kumatu.com and writer of the book Debunking Myths Around African Talent.
A groundbreaking book highlights not only how many Black inventors there are worldwide, but how instrumental their creations were to Western technology. The book is called Black Inventors, Crafting Over 200 Years of Success, and it identifies Black inventors from over 70 countries, dating back as far as 1769. Keith C. Holmes is the man behind this 20-year project.
Has Africa played any significant role in science and technology?
Thank you, Jerry. This is a vast question. But let us just remember that Africa is the cradle of humanity, and that Africans are the first people on Earth who actually started counting, measuring, and quantifying things. And the Limbombo bone, which is 35,000 years old, is the oldest instrument that was found in Tanzania, and it has 29 markings that actually show that it was used to track the lunar cycle.
And were you surprised by the volume of Black inventors and where they were around the world? Because of course, you know, as little Black kids in America, we learn about Black inventors growing up. But were you surprised by the richness of the information?
I was very surprised. One of the things I did in 1999, I typed in the name Kwame. I got 20 hits on it. I began to realize that I can't just focus on inventors from the United States. I've really got to start reaching out and seeing if there's inventors from Canada, the UK, Africa, of course, Australia, the Caribbean islands, Central and South America. And to date, I've been able to uncover 15,000 inventions, innovations, and patents and trademarks by people of color.
We have to propagate the news that Africans do manufacture in Africa science and technology related equipment such as cars, 3D printers, aircraft, rockets, and much more. The problem, unfortunately, is that African inventors are not backed up financially, and this is the reason why they barely make it to the mass production stage.
Why don't we know more about these people that you found out about?
Well, you got to be very serious about your research. And I'd have to say the father of research of Black inventors was a man by the name of Henry E. Baker from Columbus, Mississippi. He started on a project in the early 1900s where he sent out 2,500 letters to different patent attorneys and lawyers around the country. He got 1,000 letters back indicating that there were Black inventors from the Caribbean, Canada, the United States, but he got 1,500 letters back scoffing and laughing at the ideas that Black people could invent anything.
From your book, Debunking Myths Around African Talent, this is your book here, with us. You say that Africa has talent, and that you also talk about its mineral resources being used for software development and other manufacturing purposes. Could you tell us more about this?
First of all, Africa is abundantly gifted with natural resources like tantalum, platinum, tungsten, nickel, gold, etc. And they have applications in several technological fields. What we need to understand is that technology firms cannot manufacture phones or tablets without minerals. And this is the reason why we have in Africa to I would say transform our natural resources locally, because in Africa and in the diaspora we have talents who know how to do it, and all that they want is that we start trusting their genius.
When someone comes across your book, thumbs through it, or even reads it cover to cover, other than the information, the facts, what do you want them to take away?
I want them to take away from the idea that we got close to over 100 countries around the world, and each one of these countries have inventors, men and women who are creating things to improve their communities as well as make improvements in the world.
Alors pour terminer, Rudy, comment l'Afrique peut-elle être...
Finally, how best can Africa be at the forefront of not just manufacturing now, but in science and technology, and in driving change and innovation across various fields in this age of rapid technological advancements?
Et la concurrence est très rude à travers le monde.
That's a very good question. I think that competitive education is competitive education in science and technology related fields is one of the first things that we should do in Africa. But in the meantime, I think it's important to gather African talents who have already developed and manufactured outstanding inventions and innovations in modern research and development centers. With proper funding, it will then be possible to mass produce their inventions, but in assembly lines manufactured by Africans and in Africa, so as to limit the importation of capital goods.
I know the conversation could go on and on and on and on, but then it was nice for having you on the program, you know.
Thank you again for inviting me.
All right, thank you for sharing.
You know what I think is really kind of a sad commentary, not just that the general population probably does not know about many, if any, of these inventors, but even in this country, African-American kids. There really is a scarcity of information about the accomplishments of Black people.
Well, you know what it has to do with the core curriculum? We have to make sure that books are included in this. And what we've done is made sure this book is available as a paperback as well as ebook edition. And Baker & Taylor is one of the largest distributors of books and libraries, and we're currently a vendor for them.
Well, Keith C. Holmes, congratulations. Thank you so much for wonderful work. We all should have it.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.